Good morning, Gulfport High. On this episode, we are going to look at how GHS students demonstrate what it means to be an admiral, share their talents, and get real-world experience right here at school. There's so much going on here at GHS, and Admiral Ocean is here to keep you up on all of it.
It's true, we still have several football games left in the season, but it's already that time of year to start looking at the winter sports. Wednesday evening, family and community members came out to the Burt Jenkins Gym for the winter sports Meet the Admirals.
Let's hear it for our girls powerlifting.
Fans were introduced to members of the basketball team, soccer team, powerlifting, and bowling teams. It was a great way for the community to get to know what sports are starting up. It's also a good way to show the players they are supported by the people in the community. You can find the schedules for the winter sports at the athletic department webpage. Just go to gulfportschoolsdistrict.com, then click on athletics.
Today, juniors and seniors will be attending the second AIG seminar of the year. Today's seminar will be focused on career pathways. Guest speakers who are all GHS graduates now working in careers will speak to students about selecting a career pathway and what is needed to follow that pathway to the career you want. We appreciate these people taking the time from their profession and coming here to speak to us.
As we mentioned on the last episode, so many people have been affected by recent hurricanes, and no one knows what it's like to start over on a hurricane's devastation more than those of us who call the Gulf Coast home. GHS students can help in this recovery. Student Council in this current collecting items to send to areas affected by the hurricanes.
So basically, when Katrina hit, Gulfport, Florida helped Gulfport a lot. So we wanted to give back to them. And then once we help them get supplies and stuff like that, we're supposed to help people in North Carolina and Georgia as well.
If you haven't already given, it's not too late.
You can drop off supplies to Miss Rademacher or to Miss Wyndham.
Time and time again, we see examples of GHS students giving of themselves. Our students here are some of the most compassionate and caring students you will find anywhere. Just before the intersession, several of our students stepped up like true admirals and put others before themselves. Here's Sadie with the story.
Do you know the importance of donating blood? The MedTech 1 and 2 classes both helped run the blood drive out of the courtroom with the help of the Red Cross Foundation.
Good morning, Gulfport!
We're going to be here more for moral support. We're going to be helping with juice and drinks, and then if people need help, some people can't handle the needle, so we're going to be there for more support, talking them through it, holding their hand, and then we're here to check them in and everything.
This gives them real-world experience where they get to see a phlebotomy. All of my students want to go into the healthcare field, so them actually seeing blood, it's a real-world situation, and hopefully this builds their critical thinking skills, and it will prepare them for the healthcare field.
We had 67 students offer to donate blood and altogether collected 60 units of blood. This is equivalent to around 21,000 milliliters of blood.
It's important to donate blood because in the U.S. we're going through a shortage and people every 2 seconds are needing blood. And if you donate 3 times, you get a cord for graduation and you get a $20 gift card.
Students donated blood in order to help with those with emergency surgeries, chronic illnesses, and other injuries.
Donate blood!
Not only are students giving, they're also incredibly talented. James shows us just how several GHS students take to the stage recently to share their talent with us.
The Gulfport High Theater Program has hosted the 3rd Annual Coffee House Talent Show in the Little Theater in room 702 on September 12th at 6 p.m. They had lots of different people come out together and show off their special talents like singing, dancing, and showing off their musical abilities, all in good fun, but also to support the fundraiser behind all of this.
It's a fundraiser. Every year we put it on in hopes to help, bolster our program. We go to multiple festivals every year, and they're very expensive. So yes, it's a fundraiser. It's $5 to attend. It's $5 to participate, and everybody gets a free cup of coffee, and then there are extra baked goods and treats and more coffee for purchase.
She also explained to us what she looks forward to the most whenever she watches all these talents go down.
Just a good variety. Always have a lot of singers. Occasionally we'll get some dancers. One year we actually had somebody do stand-up comedy, which was a lot of fun. So really anything, if you consider it a talent, I would love to see it. The more varied, the better.
While this event in the end is a very fun experience for people to come out and watch and support their friends, it's also a good way to support your Gulfport High theater program. So if you couldn't make this one, hopefully you'll be able to attend the ones in the future.
As you all know, 9th and 10th grade is all about the basics. But who said the basics can't be fun? Here in Miss Holloway's 9th grade science class and Miss Wedgeworth's 10th grade math class, we have two projects that we think makes learning twice as exciting.
So it's called the Oreo Cookie Lab, and what the students have to do is they're actually using sprinkles, and the sprinkles actually resemble the chromosomes, and so and the cookies themselves represent the cell cycle of each stage, and so. For instance, the first stage is interphase. So they actually have to show sprinkles using the chromosomes, and so they wouldn't cross over. So if I actually walk around the classroom and I actually see in interphase that some of them are crossing over, then I can correct them. Also, at the end of mitosis, they have telophase. So in telophase, you should have two cookies, which represents again the cell. And I expect, to actually see two and not four. If I see four, I know that's meiosis. So mitosis is actually a very important standard on the state test. So this is one of the many labs I actually used, and again, it has shown great results.
First is prophase, second is metaphase, third is anaphase, and the last is telophase.
It really helped me visualize how the stages of mitosis really do come into play when it comes to cell replication.
My favorite part of the lab was probably constructing the stages of mitosis with the Oreos and putting it all together. That was probably my favorite part.
And I know you're probably thinking, I thought projects were just for science classes. But in reality, projects in math are actually really cool. You just got to look at the bigger picture.
So my students are going to be creating tessellations from polygons that have been transformed, and they're going to be learning about MC Escher, who has created lots of these tessellations, and also looking at tessellations, how they occur naturally in the world.
So I drew a dog, and what we did to do that, we had like a square to start off, and then we cut it out, and then we glued the other side to the other side, and then we traced it from there, and then you just fill in the lines.
I liked that we got to be creative with it, and we could add our own personal touch to our tessellations, and we just got to have fun and color it how we wanted to, and nothing was strict about it.
The great thing about the CTE classes in the institutes is how students get to step out beyond the traditional classrooms and actually do work as they would in the real world. Jordan looked at one such opportunity in the CAB Institute.
Mr. Gertz, the culinary arts year 2 teacher, came up with the idea to sell lunches to teachers about 3 years ago. The culinary arts class is a self-generated program.
Okay, I don't want my kids just being here making mac and cheese. I want them to have opportunities to really learn how to run a restaurant. And so that's why I came up with this idea of feeding the teachers. And so they learn really exactly what they would do working in a restaurant if they had guests come in and feed them. It's all about the hands-on experience. Okay, I can get up and tell them what it looks like to run a restaurant and to cook and to do these things, but actually giving them the hands-on experience to be able to do it week to week is what is most important.
We are involved in the preparing the food and cooking the food and plating the food. We're not really involved in coming up with what to serve the teachers. The teachers have that say so.
It's about teaching them the costing, right? What things are costing us, buying the food, and then being able to build the menu first and foremost, and then going from there. Really just how portion size affects, right? So they know you can't just give this much food, right? There's an amount that we have to portion out.
Mr. Gertz wants to give his students a hands-on experience so in the future they can learn how to work in a restaurant.
I've learned that you have to be on top of things in the kitchen to really make sure everything goes smoothly and that everything gets out at its right time.
How to know what they're doing when they step into a restaurant, so that's really what we did.
His students learned that communication is key in the kitchen, time management, and also how to follow instructions to prepare a good meal.
Learned how to follow instructions well, good communication, and working well with other people.
The culinary arts, selling lunches to teachers, supports their competition costs, grocery store runs, and anything else the class needs. If a teacher wants to order lunch, the order sheet goes out every Monday, and you have until Thursday morning to put your order in and pay.
Since producing this segment, Mr. Gertz has left the program. But don't worry, teachers. Ms. Wyndham has plans to start the teacher lunches back up next semester, so stay tuned.
Being a high school student can be a bit tedious. In fact, it's easy for the coursework to make it feel like all you have to do is take notes and tests. That's what makes GHS teachers so special. They actually do things outside the normal way to make learning a real experience. One such class doing this in the health science class in the HHS Institute. Here's the story on how GHS makes learning fun.
Students at Gulfport High and the HHS Institutes have been participating in assignments surrounding cardiac rhythm disorders. They were told to make a project explaining conditions such as atrial fibrillation and ventricular tachycardia, and use the technology and medical tools provided.
So VTech is a shockwave rhythm where it's really, really fast. So they had to shock me, and I got to actually go crazy on the bed. It was so much fun.
Critical thinking. It was very big for the students to actually put the pieces together. It's not just about making a PowerPoint and coming up with a dance in a scenario. It's really trying to connect all the pieces together so that they better understand it.
It was really just looking at the rhythms and kind of moving our arms to how it looked. And then some of us were like, let's just dab. Why not?
Besides critical thinking, students are challenged with having a responsibility in different areas such as collecting information from many different sources, preparing an essay, and coming up with funny dances to represent what they've learned.
Just late night thoughts, trying to think outside of the box so the kids can kind of do something that's in their own hands. It's not just a written assignment. It was multi-dimensional. It had many different pieces to it to help them build their critical thinking skills for the healthcare field.
As someone who didn't learn this last year, it was a really good project to kind of get me back up to speed with everybody and really just kind of understand what was going on with everything that goes on.
Overall, it seemed health science students had fun and enjoyed their interactions with other students, all while gaining more knowledge and getting a better understanding of cardiac rhythm disorders. These hands-on activities are molding our students into our future healthcare providers.
That wraps up this episode of Admiral Ocean. If you are doing something here at GHS that you think other people would like to know, let us know. We love to feature your story on Admiral Ocean. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on our next episode.